Hey, what's up and welcome to the video. This one's about 5 things I dislike about Monster Energy Supercross 4. So, just to start off with number 1, the AI is frustratingly aggressive at times. They'll land on you, they'll T-bone you, stuff that if it were in real life, the AMA would suspend these guys. And there's some examples at the end of this video. You'll watch me go from 1st to 11th in a heat race, just because it's like getting hit with like a sock and bopper. If you know what that is, you probably know how old I am. But if you get hit into by one of these guys, it throws you off the track, and it's super annoying to try to get back on the track. And they only, they give you 5 seconds, but usually it just resets you, and it resets you, half the section before where you actually went off the track. So number 2, this one has been a long-standing issue in the community, but it's the pickup time for the AI after they crash. They can pick themselves up in like half a second, sometimes before you even leave a corner. Well, when you crash, it feels like you're off the bike for 5 or 6 seconds, or at least you lose 5 or 6 seconds of time to whoever was in front of you. I actually wouldn't have a complaint about this if the AI just matched kind of the user timing. I think there should be a punishment for crashing, but it doesn't make sense that the AI is getting up before you can even leave a turn. So number 3, they need to remove the reset for cutting across a tough block. I can't count the number of times I've slightly jumped across a tough block that was already in a weird spot and then being reset and losing all momentum. I think they could just get rid of that function completely, maybe add a system that counts the time you gained, or how much time you were quote unquote off track, and then at the end of the race, if it was enough to dock you a position, you just get docked a position or 2, whatever, however much time you cut. The community for MX Simulator figured this out years ago, and I think it works just fine. I mean, certainly it works better than completely resetting your momentum. It kind of breaks the race sometimes when I don't remember exactly what track it is, but there's one where the tough block's way out in the middle of the turn and you're coming off a jump. So when you come off the jump, you sometimes just barely go over that tough block, and I got reset there probably 4 times in one race. I still won, but it's annoying. Number 4, I feel like every turn feels like a flat track turn. Why do I have to come in, slide the back end out, and drift all the corners? I get that on a hard packed track, like maybe the Texas tracks, because usually in real life they're pretty hard packed. So it may be true there that you're sliding around a little bit more, but not every track is hard packed. And I feel like the only way to fix that would be having ruts and actually making the outside berms work properly. But that's a whole, you can make a whole video on how that's hard to do. MX Simulator has been trying to do it for years, and it's a pain point for their community. MX versus ATV Reflex got it, but that's an old game. The system wouldn't work so well now, and it made the ruts too deep in that game, but it still worked. For number 5, this is more about Milestone than the game in general. It seems that they have kind of taken the EA approach, and what I mean by that is that they get the same feedback every year since the game first came out. And instead of fixing kind of the micro level annoying parts of the game, kind of the things I'm talking about here, they put their time and effort into releasing big updates and changes no one really asked for, like the abilities in Career. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the abilities are a great addition, but I just think about how long the gaming community has been saying Madden is the same game every year. This is the same thing. It's like you're adding abilities. While it's a good addition to the game, nobody really asked for it. We kind of want the gameplay to be better. But the problem with EA is it has a monopoly on NFL video games, and Milestone right now has a monopoly on the official motocross games. So until they Feld maybe has to come along and say, hey, you guys, you're not putting out the kind of game we want you to put out, and tell them to make big changes or fix these micro level things that are annoying the community. I just don't think that a lot of these micro things that we're talking about will get changed. And maybe it's somebody putting out a mod to the game to completely change the physics, and that's kind of an honorable mention. A lot of people complain about the physics. I don't have the biggest problem with them. I think as you unlock the abilities in this game, it makes the physics a little bit better. When you first start in career mode, they're awful. You can barely turn. But that's kind of my honorable mention. Let me know in the comments what your biggest pain point in this game is. We can discuss it, make another video in the future. But thanks for stopping by. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll be putting out some more stuff about Supercross 4 here in the coming days. If you're interested in seeing that or hearing my opinions, the more likes and comments and subscribes I get, the more stuff I can put out, the more I can focus on the YouTube stuff. So thanks for stopping by again, and I'll see you next time.